Most families do not realize their parent may no longer be safe to drive until something scary happens. Not long ago, one of my patient's daughter started noticing small dents all over her mom's car. Nothing major, just little scrapes and scratches. Her mom always had an explanation. That pole came out of nowhere. Someone must have hit my car in a parking lot. At first, she didn't think much of it. But a few weeks later, something happened, and it was one of the warning signs families often miss. My name is Slava Kreynovich. I'm a nurse practitioner with over 20 years of experience and a daughter actively caring for an aging parent with cancer. On this channel, I translate complex medical and life systems into clear steps so adult children of aging parents, just like me, can prepare before a crisis hits, communicate confidently with doctors and healthcare teams, organize finances, daily care, and support their parents without losing themselves. As a healthcare provider, I see families struggle with the question about how long a parent can continue driving safely all the time. So today I'm going to walk you through 5 warning signs your parent may no longer be safe to drive. And make sure you stay until the end because I'll share the easiest ways to start the difficult conversations with the parent without damaging your relationship. So why this conversation is so difficult? Driving represents independence. For many adults, it means freedom, dignity, and control over their life. So bringing up the idea of stopping driving can feel incredibly difficult. But recognizing the warning signs early can help prevent accidents and protect the people you love. Sign number 1. One of the earliest warning signs can be changes in driving speed. Some older drivers begin driving much slower than traffic, while others may drive too fast without realizing it. You might also notice delayed reaction to traffic lights, sudden braking, difficulty judging the distance. These changes can sometimes happen because of vision issues, slow reaction time, or medication side effects. How to address it? One of the best ways to start the conversation is to focus on your concern, not their driving. For example, I noticed driving seemed stressful for you the other day. How are you feeling when you're driving lately? Suggest that seeing their medical provider might be a good idea if medication side effects are at fault. This gives them idea that it's not their fault, but rather they just need to have a medical reevaluation. Sign number 2. Another red flag is an increase in tickets or minor accidents. This might include small fender benders, scraping parked cars, bumping into poles or curbs, new dents that no one can explain. These incidents often suggest that the awareness or reaction time might be changing. What you can do? One helpful step is to ride with them occasionally. That way you can observe what's happening in the real time without immediately taking away their independence. Now, remember the story I mentioned earlier about the daughter who noticed dents on her mom's car? Those dents turned out to be one of the first warning signs, but the bigger problem became clear when something else happened. Sign number 3. One day her mother got lost driving just 2 miles from home. If someone suddenly starts getting lost in areas they've known for years, that's a major warning sign. You might notice missing familiar turns, driving far past their destination, calling family because they're unsure where they are. Driving requires constant navigation and decision making, and this can sometimes signal memory or cognitive changes. What you can do? If this happens, encourage a medical evaluation. Sometimes the cause can be medication side effects, sleep problems, vision changes, or early cognitive decline. Sign number 4. When families often notice the difficulty with basic driving tasks, for example, trouble backing out of parking spaces, bumping the curb frequently, drifting out of the lane, struggling to merge into traffic. Driving is actually a very complex skill involving vision, coordination, attention, and quick decision making. To address the problem in a constructive rather than critical way, it's worth to request a formal driving evaluation with an occupational therapist or driving specialist who will help to determine whether driving is still safe for your parent. Sign number 5. Sometimes the clearest warning sign is simply how you feel in the passenger seat. If you find yourself feeling nervous, grabbing the door handle, or worrying about their driving, that instinct matters. If you truly feel it may not be safe for them to drive anymore, it's probably time to have the conversation. So, how to start this difficult conversation? You should be coming from a concern for their well-being, not criticizing their abilities or their age. Focus on statements like, I'm worried about your safety. I want to make sure you stay safe. And who delivers the message can matter. Sometimes it's best coming from a close family member, and I'd say a favorite one in the family, a trusted friend, or their medical provider. When is the best time to bring it up? Certain situations can make the conversation easier. For example, if they say they don't want to drive at night anymore, or before their medical appointment, or when medication change that could affect reaction time. One of the most helpful things you can do is to offer alternatives so stopping driving does not feel like losing independence completely. For example, help them learn how to use Uber or Lyft, set up ride-share apps on their phone, look into the community senior transportation options, and offer rides whenever possible. The goal is to help them maintain freedom while staying safe. And in the situation I mentioned earlier, the daughter eventually spoke to me. I helped to arrange driving evaluation, and the family worked together to find other transportation options. It wasn't an easy transition, but it helped to keep my patient safe and supported. Of course, losing the ability to drive is one of the most difficult transitions many older adults face. But recognizing the warning signs early can prevent a tragedy. If you feel something isn't right, do not wait until something serious happens. Start the conversation now. If you're dealing with this right now, you're definitely not alone. Comment yes, or share what you're going through. I read every comment. Your story might help someone else who's going through the same situation. Take a breath. You are doing your best. Be gentle with your parents and yourself. If this video helped you, consider subscribing, hitting a like, and sharing it with someone who might be facing the same problem. And if you're noticing some of these signs and wondering whether memory or thinking changes might be involved, I've made another video that walks through screening tests for dementia and when to consider them. I'll link it here, and it might help you to decide what to do next. I'm wishing you all the best. Till next time.